We cut our last video short, guys, because to be honest, we were just crushed with another devastating blow of serious problems, mechanical problems with the van. In our last video, everything was going wonderful. We were driving through remote, beautiful desert parts of Namibia, seeing ostriches and oryx, and headed to a place called Sossusvlei to have some hikes and see some beautiful stuff, when Curt discovered a giant oil leak in the van. We kind of grouped up and came up with some sort of a plan, but we told y'all we'd be back with more of a plan in this video. Well, we rolled into the Sossusvlei campsite. We got settled in for the night. It was on the way south, and we had already decided it was just too far to go back to Windhoek, and we didn't have time left on our visas here in Namibia to go back there for a repair. So our next best option was to head towards Cape Town, and that is what we're doing. And Sossusvlei is on the way. We're gonna go out and enjoy this place. Curt's gonna do an epic hike, and then as soon as we're done here, guys, we are headed out, and we are southbound, crossing a border into South Africa and headed straight to Cape Town. We've reached out to some friends of ours that we've met along the road that are from Cape Town to ask for mechanic recommendations. Hopefully we'll have more of a plan in the next video. But for this one, let's go see this world famous place and try to forget that the van is broken down again.
Good morning, everyone. The adventure has begun. So the deal is you can drive into Sossusvlei for a long way, but then you finally get to the 4x4 section, and this is sand, and this kind of takes us back to one of the epic pans, and that's where we're headed. So we got our driver here. What's your name?
Simon.
Simon, and we have some people back here. Where are you guys from again?
Sweden.
Sweden, all right, cool. So they probably don't mind the cold weather here, but for me, it's a little chilly. It's about 50 degrees Fahrenheit, but we are in the world's oldest desert, and I got news for you guys. The sand is red, the sun is just coming up, and we are in for a treat today. 350 meters high, huh? Big Daddy.
Big Daddy.
So there's a couple areas out here that I wanted to see, and one of them was this Big Daddy dune, which our guy was telling us is over 300 meters high, 1,000 feet plus. Anyway, I didn't know if I was gonna climb it or not, but my new friends and partners in crime stopped the vehicle and they said, let us out, we want to climb it for sunset. So this is 1,000 foot in the sand, so this is a pretty steep climb on good ground. And as you guys know, I haven't been doing a lot of hiking lately, and so, well, this is probably going to be a big test, but we've got a good start, and it's actually pretty good hiking weather. So we'll see. That I'll be able to keep up, but we'll keep up for a while. So we're moving across up to the dune pretty fast. It actually is a lot further than it looks. But if you can see the floor here, it's absolutely surprising to see the lush green and the purpley sort of flowers here. And we're actually in what I believe is a salt bay or a bay. And this would have been where at one point in time water sat in here, maybe like a dry riverbed, if you will, or lake bed. And I think there's several out here. I can still see sort of mud flakes on the ground, so that kind of makes me believe that there was water here maybe even not too long ago. But I can see the little trailhead going up the dune there. And from a distance, it doesn't look so big, but I do know from my hiking history, and for those of you who don't know, I have done a lot of hikes all over the world. And well, like I said, I'm not in good shape, but I know what 1,000 feet is. And I also know what it's like walking in sand. This should be interesting, guys, but the view should be epic. All right, guys, so as we approach this dune, Big Daddy, you can see there's little people up on just like maybe a quarter, maybe 10% of the dune hike. I don't know what I got myself into this morning. See how I'm gonna get out maybe is gonna be the more interesting story. So the sun is coming up over there on our left, and you can see sort of on the edge of the dunes, there's little black strips. Now, what I've learned is these dunes are loaded with iron oxide. That's what gives them their color. So if I drop my microphone, which has a magnet on, it'll be like swallowed up by metal. So I don't want to do that, unless maybe I decide to show you later on. But anyway, it's pretty stunning across here. And we were about to start the climb. The climb has begun, and I'm already out of breath. So, but I also have a huge smile on my face. I needed something like this after the news from yesterday. I really did. So, slow but steady, one step at a time.
Curt may have already told you, we got a really early start this morning. We were, I think, like the 4th car at the gate. If you stay inside the park, at the campground inside the park, then you get to come in an hour earlier than anybody else. So we were at the gate at 6:30 and got to shoot up here so that we could be up here at this beautiful part of our world when the sun was rising. The fortunate thing about living and traveling in a van is I didn't even have to get out of my pajamas. I just rolled out of bed, didn't even make the bed, got in the driver's seat, and we headed this way. Curt got on one of the first shuttles to take you down to the famous area that I'm sure by now he's showing you. And me and the kitty cats, we stayed behind in the van for this one because something we learned at Sandwich Harbor is walking in this sand, especially if they're going up any kind of dunes, is really hard on me with my heart condition. So I'm skipping this one, and I'm gonna end up looking at it on videos and pictures just like you guys. But I know Curt is having a fantastic time. Me and the kitties have a view of some dunes as we had breakfast and coffee. And I can tell you that getting here that hour early is a benefit, because this parking lot is filling up, not just with cars, but with tour buses. So if you want to come here and you want to have it somewhat to yourself, there was still going to be other people there. There's no way to have it all to yourself. You want to try to stay inside of the national park. So I don't want to bore you just sitting here in the van. So we'll go back to Curt, and I'll see y'all in a little bit.
I made it up that first little piece, and I'm dying. But I thought right here in front of me was Deadvlei, which is the salt pan, which I really came to see. All this. And then I got the hair. So I hoped maybe I could take a shortcut, come up this little walk and drop down across Deadvlei. Not the case. So the only way out of this mess, short story, is up along this ridge. And it looks like there's a cut that goes across there that's maybe not so steep. Maybe that edge will drop into Deadvlei. I'm definitely not going to summit today. I just don't have the energy. I can tell you, every step you take forward, you take one step back. My feet are already cramping from just overworking. And well, and now that the young people have pulled off in front of me, Now I can slow my pace a little bit more to old man pace and take myself slow down so I don't kill myself. But I have to tell you, I'm glad I went this way. Stunning views and a cardio workout that my body desperately needed. This is where I am when the sun comes up. You can see it coming over the dune right there. And I think a lot of people are trying to make it to the top, the sprint to the top. And the group that I came with, the 2 people that I came with, are the furthest up. They've passed everybody. And well, I'm gonna keep on moving at my own pace. Slow and steady wins the race. One step at a time, guys. But as the sun comes up, it instantly makes a dramatic difference in the lighting and the colors and the shadows of these dunes. And so I'm thankful for what I got, but we got to keep moving. I think the jackals and the hyenas are starting to circle. I haven't seen any buzzards yet, but I guess that's a good sign. All right, early in this hike, I got a tough decision to make, but everybody else has made it up to the top, and I am really struggling. I mean, I'm struggling. So this, I believe, pops over that dune into the Deadvlei, which is the target. It looks like there's kind of a trail across there maybe. I'll skip across there, try not to slide down into the death trap down there. But definitely easier than trying to get up to the top. And yeah, I think it's my better route. I still it looks like there's a little bowl across there, so I'll still have some climbing to do. Not as much. I think I'll miss out on some epic views, but under the circumstances, I really think this is the best choice. So we're taking a shortcut. Let's hope it actually turns out to be a shortcut, guys. All right, here we go.
I'm running on empty, I'm losing steam. I don't know what to think about this version of me. When I look back, I want to feel like that would be worth doing again. Head held high and I'm not surprised, learned a couple lessons. I don't want to race just to come in second place, I want to enjoy my life. On the ground, safe and sound, with my head up above the sky, so get it right.
For those of you who know me, you probably won't be surprised. For those new here, surprise, there was a change of plan. Back there at the junction, I took a break and sat down, and another family came up behind me that was trekking, and they're still up in front of me, and you can see the front runners up there. Anyway, I decided to plug on. We're only here once, right? So we'll just move a little slower, take more breaks, and we'll get through this. We're gonna move up a little bit more, guys. We're gonna keep going. But I do think that over there is the little white spot, the little thing right there. I do think that's Deadvlei. So we'll show you that when we get over there. And as I speak, tragedy struck. I lost my microphone, which means I gotta backtrack down and try to find it. Oh man. So, just came up this spot right here. So we're looking for the microphone. Oh man. And the way the sand is pushed, I'm not real optimistic. It's a sinking feeling in your gut. keep a lookout, guys. I'm looking for my microphone. It looks like right up here is where I took a seat. And there it is right there. And that microphone just connected. And you can see on the back all that stuff stuck to the magnet. That's the iron oxide. Now we gotta climb back up again. The summit has revealed itself, and you can see all the way up there. There's still a long ways to go, and it might be hard to tell unless you look back. So right up there where they made it just past that's where I found out I lost the microphone. Down where those guys are right now is where I had to go back to find it. And down there in the pan is where we originally came from. So that'll give you a little bit of perception on where we are. But there is still, we're not halfway, guys, I don't think. But anyway, this is Deadvlei right here. And here is home of the petrified forest. I will leave that to explain to you once I get down there. Right now I don't have the breath, and I also want to enjoy the stunning views of all these dunes around us, kind of take it in and catch my breath and prepare for the next burst. One last little look back at Big Daddy. There's a couple people up top there, if you can see it. That's the summit that we did not make it to. There's the ridge. Some people are headed back down there. Right down there, as you'll see where I came down. So quite a ways. I probably came down, I don't know, 700 feet maybe, I'm guessing. I still have a few more to go. Down is a lot easier than going up. Let me tell you guys, infinitely easier. But we're coming down into the Deadvlei. And I think earlier I might have called it a bay, because that's what they call them up in Otosha, salt bays, or anyway, something like that. And they call these vleis, so not sure the difference, but this was an old waterbed, and so I think that's kind of like a salty mineral surface on the bottom there that people, you can see a few people walking by there. They actually summited, so good on them. But anyway, down here there's trees that are 900 years old, and the river flow, the water flow through here changed, and this area dried out, and these trees died, and because of the super dry climate, arid environment, they actually have been preserved as they are. And in contrast to these red dunes and this white Deadvlei, it makes some stunning pictures. And this is one of the most iconic places in all in Namibia, I think, as I've been telling you, for this reason. And so as we come down the side of the dune here, Big Daddy's not the big story. It's these trees right here around the corner. And as I come down here into the Vlei, I can already see all kinds of people out here. So we'll see if we can get some video and pictures for you guys before we wrap this one up. I just got down here and I had to empty the sand out of my shoes. But look at this. It's like all kinds of alligator skin, or if you will, at the floor of this. And it's real thick and hard. So as it's dried up, now I don't know how long it's been since there's been water in here. The other one that we walked up into had like mud flakes that looked a little bit fresh. But this stuff right here looks really old. And just from tapping on it, it's pretty hard, so it's not like a soft mud or clay, kind of how it looks. So I'm sure over the course of time it has dried and hardened. But Big Daddy right there, so that's over 1,000 feet. It may not look like it. There's a couple people about a quarter of the way down, a couple of dots like ants, and good for them, good for everybody who made it up to the top. There's a few more people trying to make it. I am very glad I made it as far as I did. I will be honest with you, when I lost the microphone, I felt like crying. And it's just a culmination of a lot of things, and I'm not going to go there right now. We'll deal with it when we get back in the van and get back on the road. Yeah, we're going to enjoy the moment, guys. Let's go see these trees. So I made it down to the Deadvlei forest area, and this place is definitely living up to its reputation as a big Instagram spot. And I can tell you that because there's so many people here, well, including us. And but in a place like this, where it would otherwise be quiet, you can just hear the loud chatter of people. It's hard to grab a picture or a video of one of these trees without someone in the background, to be completely honest. Now, we got here first light early, but I did do that little excursion up top, which took quite a bit of time. And down the hill, up the hill there behind it, in front of us, you can see a bunch of people coming down that hill. And so the crowds are likely probably going to get bigger as the day goes on. It's a beautiful spot, but I got to tell you, the spot we saw in Chile has my marks as a much cooler place. Preserved trees, exotic scenery. I'll show it to you right now. And I don't want to steal away from this place. This is really cool and really epic in a lot of ways. But yeah, when you get to a place like this and there's so many people here, it kind of has a different feel for me personally. Kind of wonder how you guys feel about that. Some of you probably are like, what are you talking about, Curt? You're there with everybody else. And I think some of you are probably like, oh, they would much rather appreciate someplace where there was a lot less people around. So let me know what you guys think.
Woke up this morning with the sunrise in my eyes. Just like a new day, a breath of fresh air in my life. I don't know how, don't know why, but I'll be toasting all my life. My boots and briefcase are waiting at the door. My ride sweeter to meet the one I love. I don't know how and don't know why, but I'll be toasting all my life. Oh, it's sweeter the first time around.
In case you guys are wondering, where's Snow? Well, we hoped she could maybe make it down to Deadvlei, but the parking lot is all the way out there. And we found out from the last video, the last tour that we did in the harbor, that this walking in sand on the dunes is really taxing. And of course, with our heart issues, walking up and down hills in this sand is just long distance is not doable. And well, we could have skipped the sand dune hike I just did, but even this is just too much to be enjoyable for her. And so I came out on a solo mission. For those of you guys who don't know, when we traveled to Central and Latin America, I did a lot of solo missions. And so now that her heart's better, her knee's better, we can do a lot more stuff together. But anyway, that's why she's not here. And but we're headed back to the parking lot. We're gonna grab this ride and we are gonna go catch up.
Curt has made his way back to the band after playing in the sand all morning, and we are on the road headed out of this national park. The original plan was to spend one more night at this campsite and get a really early start in the morning, but we had to add more oil, and the van is just losing too much oil, and we don't have enough in reserve. So we are going to move on to get closer to a town where we can buy more oil, which will then help us get to the mechanic, right, Curt?
Yeah, it's a bummer, guys, but we are on a race to yet another mechanic here in Africa.
But Namibia has been unbelievably epic, and the bad car trouble will never, ever bring us down on Namibia. It was amazing, but now we're headed towards the border and then towards the mechanic. So we'll see you guys in a few days in our next video, where we're trying our best to get to a mechanic while this thing's still rolling. Cheers, guys. If you liked this video, be sure to hit that thumbs up button. It really helps us a lot. And if you want to see more of our videos, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell so you know when new videos come out. We'll see you guys in a few days from somewhere out here in the world. Cheers.